A beautiful, talented and intelligent young girl, once the pride of her family, was living her vibrant youth when she suddenly became the victim of a horrifying crime. The perpetrator? None other than the person who once professed his deep love for her. What turned love into a blazing flame of hatred? Why was this young girl forced to endure relentless harassment to the point of giving up her dreams of education? And behind this tragedy, is it merely the misfortune of an individual, or does it reveal a broader story of power and indulgence? Join CrimeStoriesX as we uncover the secrets behind a case that enraged the entire Chinese society. Zhou Yan, born in 1995, was the only daughter of a family in Hefei City, Anhui Province, China. She was seen as the ideal young woman, with her charming appearance, outstanding academic achievements, and cheerful, active personality. With her excellent grades, Yan was admitted to a prestigious middle school in the district, unaware that this would be where her nightmare would begin. At school, Yan joined the cheerleading team for the basketball club, making her a standout among her peers. She caught the attention and admiration of many male students, including Dao Ru Kun, the son of a wealthy and powerful family. Kun was the same age as Yan, but came from a superior social background. His father was the director of the Audit Bureau's office, and his mother was the head of the finance department at the Hefei City Planning Bureau. As the family's only child, Kun was spoiled and indulged to the extreme by his parents. From a young age, Kun exhibited signs of being an aggressive and controlling child. According to a former household helper, Kun would frequently throw tantrums, yell, or even throw objects at others over minor issues. If rejected by his peers, he didn't hesitate to retaliate by damaging their belongings or spreading malicious rumors. Despite repeated complaints from teachers, Kun's family dismissed his behavior as childish and harmless. They even used their influence to silence those around them, further enabling Kun's unruly conduct. With his privileged background as the child of officials, Kun ignored school rules, backed by those who sought to curry favor with him and his parents' ability to clean up any mess he created. Kun became a bully, openly domineering, yet he never faced consequences for his actions. Disinterested in studying and unbothered by thoughts of his future, Kun's life revolved around mischief and romantic pursuits. By middle school, he had already dated several girls, wooing them with gifts and persistent attention. However, Kun's affections were fleeting. He pursued for the thrill of conquest and quickly moved on. To him, these relationships were merely a way to showcase his charm. During a school basketball game, Kun set his sights on a new target, Zhou Yan, a member of the cheerleading team. He began an elaborate courtship, showering her with flowers, gifts, and extravagant displays of affection. However, Yan repeatedly rejected him. Kun's persistent pursuit escalated into stalking and harassment. He threatened and coerced Yan into dating him. When she sought help from her parents and teachers, their efforts proved futile. After enduring several beatings from Kun, Yan decided to end the relationship, only to be met with another round of violence and threats. Aware of Kun's family's power, Yan's parents reluctantly transferred her to another school, hoping to distance her from the trouble. However, Kun managed to track her down even at her new school. During this time, Yan developed a fear of attending school, suffered from severe emotional distress, and eventually fell into deep depression. Left with no other option, her parents withdrew her from school entirely. After 8 months of rest and recovery at home, Zhou Yan regained her spirit and returned to her studies with her parents' encouragement, starting her high school journey in 2011. Just as the 16-year-old girl thought her troubles were behind her and she could finally begin a normal, happy life, tragedy struck on September 17, 2011. On that day, Kun appeared at Zhou Yan's doorstep carrying a black backpack, claiming he wanted to settle their relationship issues peacefully. Believing that this might be her chance to free herself from his harassment once and for all, Yan let down her guard and allowed him into the house. However, as she turned away to fetch water, Kun took out a can of gasoline and a lighter hidden in his backpack. Before Jan could react, he doused her with the fuel and set her on fire. As Kun later admitted during his testimony, he felt no concern for Jan's life or death, viewing this as her punishment for rejecting him. Watching his dream girl writhing in pain on the ground, engulfed in flames, he showed no remorse. By the time neighbors arrived to help, Kun had already fled the scene. After 7 days and nights of intensive care, Jan's life was saved, but 28% of her body suffered severe burns that would never fully heal. Her face, neck, and chest were the most affected, with her skin and nerves irreparably damaged. Part of her left ear was burned away, and her fingers were permanently deformed. Kun was detained following the incident, awaiting the results of Jan's injury assessment. Despite the horrific crime committed by their son, Kun's parents used their influence to try to secure his release on bail while awaiting trial, but their efforts were unsuccessful. Initially, Kun's parents provided 10,000 yuan, approximately $1,400, to cover Jan's medical expenses. However, they later used the medical bills as leverage, demanding that Jan's parents sign a falsified forgiveness letter to help Kun avoid prosecution. The letter claimed that Kun had unintentionally injured Jan and had immediately called for help and contacted the police. When Jan's parents refused to comply, Kun's parents cut off all funding for her treatment. To save their daughter, Jan's parents spent their entire savings, but still owed the hospital nearly 100,000 yuan, around $14,000. With no money left, Zhou Yan was forced to leave the hospital. After the attack, Zhou Yan's life was turned upside down. Within the first year alone, she underwent 9 major surgeries and 19 minor procedures in an attempt to repair her disfigured face and body. While the physical pain of being on the operating table was excruciating, what terrified Yan even more were the judgmental stares from strangers when they saw the scars covering her skin. At her lowest point, Yan locked herself in her room, unable to face the mirror. Yet, with the boundless love and support of her parents, as well as encouragement from netizens after her story went viral, Zhou Yan decided to stand back up. She learned to accept her scars as a part of her life. Despite the clear motives and circumstances of the crime, the trial against Kun was repeatedly delayed, leaving Yan and her family in prolonged agony. On February 24, 2012, an article titled, "The Son of an Anhui Official Runs Rampant." When rejected in love, he sets a young woman on fire went viral online. Zhou Yan's tragedy sparked widespread public sympathy, and she received donations to continue her medical treatment. Under mounting public pressure, on February 25, 2012, Kun's father admitted on his social media page that he had failed to raise his son properly. He apologized to Zhou Yan's family and promised not to evade responsibility. However, it wasn't until May 10, 2015, that Kun was sentenced to 12 years and 1 month in prison for intentional infliction of injury. Following an appeal by Zhou Yan's parents, the Intermediate Court upheld the sentence on March 22, 2016, but added compensation of 1.8 million yuan, approximately $250,000. While this sum might seem substantial to many, it was far from enough to cover Zhou Yan's extensive medical treatments. In August 2016, Zhou Yan shared images of her scars covering her face and limbs for the first time. More than a decade after her nightmare, Zhou Yan has gradually reintegrated into normal life. She no longer hides her scars and confidently shares close-up selfies like any other young woman, spreading a message of resilience and hope. Currently, Zhou Yan makes a living by selling cosmetics online. Though her income is modest, it allows her to sustain herself. Zhou Yan's case is not just the tragedy of an individual, but also a wake-up call about the consequences of power abuse and the neglect of moral values. Behind the pain of a talented and beautiful young woman lies a stark reminder of the need for a strict justice system and a society that refuses to tolerate violence. Although the scars on Zhou Yan's body can never be erased, her unwavering spirit has become an inspiration for many. It is a testament that even in the darkest times, the light of hope can still be ignited. What do you think about today's case? Please leave your comments below so we can discuss it together. Don't forget to support us with a like and subscribe to the channel to motivate our team to bring more dramatic cases. And that concludes today's case. Thank you, dear viewers, for watching. Goodbye, and see you next time.